passagerarresande med 20 GT7 till Addis Abeba.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brake set. Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear.
ladies and gentlemen, I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in the front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bins. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close the bin as a courtesy to other passengers. Once all your items are put away, please clear the aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card in the seat back in front of you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant know so you can be reseated. Feel free to use your cell phones during the rest of the boarding process, but we do ask that laptops, tablets, and any other larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank you, and welcome aboard. We're on your time now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 158 with service to Stockholm. Our flight time will be roughly 41 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for departure. Flight attendants, please prepare cabin for departure and cross-check.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brake set.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The flight attendants for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is fastened, please make sure that your seatbelts are fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the middle fittings into one
ladies
another
and
and tighten by
gentlemen,
pulling on the loose
my
end of
name
the
is
strap.
Vera.
To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the entire flight as you may experience unexpected turbulence.
Ladies
There are
and
several emergency
gentlemen,
exits
my
on this
name is
aircraft.
Vera, and I'm
Please
your
take a
chief
few
flight
moments now to
attendant.
locate your nearest exit.
The fasten
In
seatbelt
some
sign
cases,
is
your nearest exit
so if
may
you
be
haven't
behind
already
you.
done
If we
so,
need to
please
evacuate
stow
the
your carry on
aircraft,
luggage
lower
en
level
dernière
lighting will
position
guide you
front of
towards
you
the
or in
exit.
overhead bin.
In the event that the cabin
Please
loses
take your
pressure,
seat
an
and
oxygen
fasten your
mask will
seat
drop
belt.
right in front of you.
Also
Start the
make
flow of
sure your
oxygen,
seat
pull the
back and
mask
fold
towards
down
you.
tray are in
Place it
fully
firmly
tight
over your nose
position.
and mouth and secure the
If
elastic
you are
band behind
seated
your head.
next to an
Tighten
emergency
straps if
exit,
necessary
please
and breathe
carefully read
normally.
the special
Although the bag
instruction
does
card
not inflate,
located by
oxygen
your
is
seat.
flowing through the mask.
If you do not wish to perform the function described in the event of an emergency, please ask a flight attendant to
Leave your mask on
receive you.
until a member of the crew
We
advises
remind
you
you that
it's safe
this
to
is a
remove it.
non-smoking
In
flight.
the unlikely event of a water
Smoking
landing,
is
a life vest
prohibited
is
on the
located in a
anti-aircraft,
pouch
Set
underneath
including
the
the
seat in the
lavatory.
armrest. When
Tampering
instructed to do
with,
so, open the plastic
disabling,
pouch
or
and remove the
destroying
vest.
the lavatory
Flip it
smoke
over your head.
detector is
Wrap the straps
prohibited
around
by
your
law.
waist and buckle at the front.
If
Pull
you
the
have
straps
any
in tight.
question about
To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If it doesn't inflate automatically, you may blow into the mouthpiece for manual inflation.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Vera, and I'm your chief flight attendant. The fasten seatbelt sign is so if you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage en dernière seat in front of you or in overhead bin. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt. Also make sure your seat back and fold down tray are in fully tight position. If you are seated next to an emergency exit, please carefully read the special instruction card located by your seat. If you do not wish to perform the function described in the event of an emergency, please ask a flight attendant to receive you. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is prohibited on the anti-aircraft, including the lavatory. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the lavatory smoke detector is prohibited by law. If you have any question about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight attendants. Thank you.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
Vous avez reçu l'information Tango. Embêtez information de l'aéroport Tango, un 700 Zulu. Vent 215 à 8. Visibilité, un demi-nautique. État du ciel, plafond 1800 couverts. Température 2. Point de rosée, 1-3. QNH 1003. ILS Yankee piste 2-1 en cours d'utilisation. Atterrissage et départ piste 2-1. Tous les appareils doivent collationner les instructions d'arrêt. Informez le contrôle lors du premier contact que vous avez reçu l'information Tango. Embêtez information de l'aéroport Tango, un 700 Zulu. Vent 215 à 8. Visibilité, un demi-nautique. État du ciel, plafond 1800 couverts. Température 2. Point de rosée, 1-3. QNH 1003. ILS Yankee piste 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now request your full attention as the flight attendant demonstrates the safety feature of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fitting one into the other and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buck. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor level lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide which may also be detached and used as life raft. Oxygen and the air pressure are always being monitored. In the unlikely event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask toward you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth, secure the elastic band behind your head, and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first, and then assist the other person. Keep your mask until a uniformed crew member advises you to remove it. In the event of an emergency, please assume the bracing position. If you hear brace, 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 lean forward with your hand on top of your head and your elbow against your thigh. Ensure your feet are flat on the floor. A life vest is located in a push under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed,
Flight attendant, please prepare for takeoff.
Very scan, David 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, Kilo Tonanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan Juliet, 0405, scan David 158, 158. Very scan, David 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, Kilo Tonanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan Juliet, 0405, scan David 158, 158. Very scan, David 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, Kilo Tonanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan Juliet, 0405, scan David 158, 158. Very scan, David 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, Kilo Tonanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan Juliet, 0405, scan David 158, 158. Very scan, David 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, Kilo Tonanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan Juliet, 0405, scan David 158, 158. L'embêté autorisation accordée, ceinture 6-9 Victor vol IFR sur Antalya, prêt à copier. Very scan, David 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, Kilo Tonanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan Juliet, 0405, scan David 158, 158.
Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clear. 158, Taylor Arlanda, Norman 3, Juliet departure, squawk 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Adam 4, Juliet, 0405, and the 158. 158.
Ceinture 69 Victor, correct. Contactez le contrôle sol sur un 2,905 dès que vous êtes prêt au roulage. Good day.
There is Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clear. 158, Taylor Arlanda, Norman 3, Juliet departure, squawk 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Adam 4, Juliet, 0405, and the 158. 158.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you are seated. In a few moments, the flight attendant will be passing around the cabin to offer you water-cooled drinks, as well as light meal. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
However, we ask
Thank
that
you.
you use your seatbelt fasten when you use in case of unexpected turbulence.
158. 158. There is Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clear. 158, Taylor Arlanda, Norman 3, Juliet departure, squawk 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Adam 4, Juliet, 0405, and the 158. 158. Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clear. 158, Taylor Arlanda, Norman 3, Juliet departure, squawk 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Adam 4, Juliet, 0405, and the 158. 158. There is Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clear. 158, Taylor Arlanda, Norman 3, Juliet departure, squawk 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Adam 4, Juliet, 0405, and the 158. 158. Information X-ray request clear. 158, Taylor Arlanda, Norman 3, Juliet departure, squawk 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Adam 4, Juliet, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, Kilo Arlanda, Northern 3 Juliet departure, squawk 0405, start approach. Start approach, Arlanda, Airman 4 Juliet, 0405, and the 158. 158. 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, clear to Arlanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan for Juliet, 0405, Cathay 158, 158. Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, clear to Arlanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan for Juliet, 0405, Cathay 158, 158.
As this is a shorter flight, we will not be able to offer in-flight service. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, and we will assist you.
Larry Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, clear to Arlanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan for Juliet, 0405, Cathay 158, 158. Larry Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, clear to Arlanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan for Juliet, 0405, Cathay 158, 158. Larry Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, clear to Arlanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan for Juliet, 0405, Cathay 158, 158. Larry Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, clear to Arlanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan for Juliet, 0405, Cathay 158, 158. Larry Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, clear to Arlanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan for Juliet, 0405, Cathay 158, 158. Larry Scandinavian 158, stand 15, information X-ray request clearance. 158, clear to Arlanda, Northern 3, Juliet departure, scope 0405, start approved. Start approved, Arlanda, Evan for Juliet, 0405, Cathay 158, 158.
X-ray 19, Airstall Tower, continue approach, report gear down.
Continue approach, gear down, lock X-ray 19.
X-ray 19.
Good day, Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra, climbing 180, routing Penor. Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra.
Into apron via Charlie and Hotel.
Charlie Hotel to apron X-ray 19.
Standard 434, climbing 180 knots, 434.
6 knots or less, we do have 26 knots, Scandinavian 142 Echo. Can we be slightly high over Nylugden? We'll go for the speed and might will be high over Nylugden 42 Echo, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HAS Turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seat and... Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HAS turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you are seated. In a few moments, the flight attendant will be passing around the cabin to offer you water cold drink, as well as a light meal. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
Nina Mermaid 400, climbing 180 south, climb 280 direct Negas, Mermaid 400, thank you.
The 110,
Center, the 110, can you do the coding? Sign please, can you do the coding sign by?
Have a good day, sir. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HAS turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Charlie Sierra with you, routing Penor and climbing 280.
That's great, 6.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HAS turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you are seated. In a few moments, the flight attendant will be passing around the cabin to offer you water cold drink, as well as a light meal. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
Screen 2646, within control, identified Sierra Alpha 630 to intercept Nylugden 2 Mike, runway 01 left.
Yeah, 2 Mike, 01 left, Sierra Alpha 630, Scandinavian 2646.
Direct Mike Alpha Golf to Jet 473. Goddag, fart Rallyman, level 360. Sweden Hayes till fart Rallyman, level 360.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HAS Turned on the fast...
That's the one, perfect morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HAS turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you're seated. In a few moments, the flight attendant will be passing around the cabin to offer you water cold drinks, as well as a light meal. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
220, copy the full confirm. Verify runway 400. Hello. Runway 400 with the cloud 280 and Bandningen.
Radar contact. Niner distance 11, established localized confirmation H1006.
619, distance correct. New QNH now 1007.
1007, X-ray 19.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HAS turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you're seated. In a few moments, the flight attendant will be passing around the cabin to offer you water cold drink, as well as a light meal. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
Today, Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra, climbing 180, route in Penor. Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra.
Into apron via Charlie Hotel.
Charlie Hotel to apron X-ray 19.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HAS turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
260 knots, Scandinavian 142 Echo. Can we be slightly high over Nilugden? We'll go for the speed and might will be high over Nilugden.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HAS turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you're seated. In a few moments, the flight attendant will be passing around the cabin to offer you water cold drink, as well as a light meal. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
Golfkille, Festival 240, coming 340 inbound. Big. Mermaid 400, climbing 180 inbound PSM. Climb 280, direct Negas, Mermaid 400, thank you. And one Golfkille. Center 110, Scania including position. Francisco including position request.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HIS. Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HIS turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you are seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HIS turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you are seated. In a few moments, the flight attendant will be passing around the cabin to offer you water cold drink, as well as a light meal. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
Scania 2646, reading control, identified Sierra Alpha 630 to intercept nearly 2 Mike, runway 01 left.
Yes, 2 Mike, 01 left, direct Sierra Alpha 630, Scania 2646.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HIS turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HIS turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you are seated. In a few moments, the flight attendant will be passing around the cabin to offer you water cold drink, as well as a light meal. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
Runway 400, stand by for descent.
Runway 400, descent to flight level 100.
Down to 1, runway 400. Sweden, Jet 473, climbing flight for 100, non-V4 Zulu. Roll 220, copy the Jet 473. Runway 400, hello. Runway 400 will be close, 280 and about Megan.
Control radar contact.
Distance 11, established localize the confirmation H1006.
619, distance correct, new QNH now 1007.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HIS. Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HIS turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend keeping your seatbelt fastened while you are seated. In a few moments, the flight attendant will be passing around the cabin to offer you water cold drink, as well as a light meal.
Alex 190, contact Tower Channel.
Tower X-ray 19.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Captain HIS turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seat and keep your seatbelt fastened. Thank you.
We have begun our final descent into Stockholm. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
Good day, Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra, climbing 180, route in Penor. Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat back and the tray table are in their full upright position. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin. Thank you.
Thunder 434, climb 180 knots, 434.
60 knots or less, we do have 260 knots, that's going to be on 142 Echo. Can we be slightly high over Nilug then? We'll go for the speed and might will be high over Nilug, can we 42 Echo, thank you.
One golf unit, level 240, coming 340 inbound. Big.
Nida Mermaid 400, climbing 180 inbound Peter. Climb 280 direct Negas Mermaid 400, thank you.
And the one golf unit.
Center, the 110, can you do the position? Sign please, do the position, thank you.
One golf unit.
34455, have a good day sir, bye-bye. Sierra with you, route in tenor and climb in 280.
Also great, 666.
Good evening, 150, close. Can you do the position?
133, 260, have a good day. Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra.
Sierra 630, Delta 21 ready.
Skyline 2646, within control, identify the Sierra Alpha 630 to intercept Nilug 2 Mike, runway 01 left.
Nilug 2 Mike, 01 left, select Sierra Alpha 630, Scandinavia, and do the position.
Direct Mike Alpha Golf to Jet 473. Good afternoon, 40 Lima, level 360. Sweden Hayes in the 40 Lima, level 360.
Runway 400, stand by for descent.
Runway 400, descent to flight level 100.
Stand to 100, runway 400. Sweden, this is Jet 473, climbing flight for 100, North 4 Zulu. Move 220, copy this Jet 473. Five Mermaid 400. Hello. Some Mermaid 400 with the level 280 and about Negas.
Control radar contact.
Distance 11, established localizer confirmation H1006.
679, distance correct. New QNH now 1007.
1007 X-ray 19.
19 contact Tower Channel.
Tower X-ray 19.
X-ray 19, South Tower, continue approach, report gear down.
Continue approach, gear down, lost X-ray 19.
X-ray 19.
Good day, Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra, climbing 180, route in Fenor. Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra.
Into apron via Charlie and Hotel.
Charlie Hotel to apron X-ray 19.
Charlie 434, climbing 180 knots, 434.
60 knots or less, we do have 260 knots. That's going to be on 142 Echo. Can we be slightly high over Nylugden? We'll go for the speed and might will be high over Nylugden for Echo, thank you.
One Golf Sierra, festival 240, coming 340 inbound. Big.
Mermaid, 400, climbing 180 inbound, Peter. Climb 280, direct Negas, Mermaid 400, thank you.
And one Golf Sierra.
Center, the 110, can you include position? Sign please, can you include position, sign by?
Direct Abama right now, 1 Golf Sierra.
34455, have a good day, sir, bye-bye. Charlie Sierra with you, route in Penor and climbing 280.
Officer Great, River 63.
Evening 150 below, can you include position? 133, 260, have a good day, Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra.
Squadron 2646, within control, identify the Sierra Alpha 630 to intercept Nylugden 2 Mike, runway 01 left.
Yeah, 2 Mike, 01 left, direct Sierra Alpha 630, can you have 96 position?
Direct Mike Alpha Golf is jet 473. Good afternoon, 40 Lima, level 360. Sweden Hayes in 40 Lima, level 360.
very much for descent.
Mermaid 400, descent to flight level 100.
Down to 100, Mermaid 400. Sweden, this is Jet 473, climbing flight for 100, non-lead 4 to the full 220, copy the Jet 473. Verify Mermaid 400. Hello. Some Mermaid 400 with the cloud 280 and Balmega.
Control radar contact.
Niner distance 11, established localizer confirmation H1006.
X19, distance corrected. New QNH now 1007.
1007 X-ray 19.
X19, contact Tower Channel.
Tower X-ray 19.
X-ray 19, start tower, continue approach, report gear down.
Continue approach and gear down, lost X-ray 19.
X-ray 19.
Good day, Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra, climbing 180, route in Penor. Turkish 9 Charlie Sierra.
Into apron via Charlie and Hotel.
Charlie Hotel to apron X-ray 19.
Thunder 434, climbing 180 knots, 434.
60 knots or less, we do have 260 knots, Scandinavian 142 Echo. Can we be slightly high over Nilug then? We'll go for the speed and might will be high over Nilug, Scandinavian 42 Echo, thank you.
Vågfjället, level 240, climbing 340 inbound. Beacon.
Cabin crew, please take your seat for landing.
1000. Above. Minimum. $100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stockholm. The local time is
Ladies and
6:47
gentlemen,
a.m.
for
and it's
your
currently
safety and
about
comfort,
2
please
degrees
remain seated
Celsius.
with your
You can
seatbelt
now use your
fastened
mobile
until the
devices.
captain turns
Please
off the
remain
fasten
seated
seatbelt
until the
sign.
aircraft has come to a complete
This will
stop and the
indicate
seatbelt
that
sign
we
is
have parked
turned
at
off.
the gate and
Remember
that
to
it
use
is
caution
safe
when
for
opening
you
the
to move
overhead
about.
bins as items may have
At
been
this
shifted during
time,
the flight.
you may use
We
your
thank you for
cellular
flying
phone
with
if
us
you
and
wish.
we hope to see you again soon.
Please check around your seat for any personal belonging you may have brought on board with you and please use caution when opening the overhead bin. Heavy article may have shifted around during the flight. If you require the planning assistance, please remain in your seat until all other passengers have the planned. One of our crew members will then be pleased to assist you. On behalf of myself, Vera, and the entire crew, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again soon. Have a nice day. gentlemen, my name is Vera, and I'm your chief flight attendant. The fastest best time is so if you are ready already done so, please store your carry-on luggage and damage for tout control of your